My brother Mike suggested I open a cafe, and a month later, he stole everything I had. I never thought betrayal could hit this close to home. Mike and I were always close. We lived in Chicago, in Lakeview. He always seemed confident and smart. When I decided to open a cafe with dessert delivery, he offered to help. I trusted him with everything. $15,000 in savings, my contacts, menu ideas. I thought everything would be fine with him. The first month was amazing. Orders kept growing, customers were happy. I handled baking and deliveries. Mike took care of marketing and suppliers. But I started noticing odd things. Accounts didn't add up, suppliers called asking about payments I never made. I tried to ignore it, thinking he would sort it out. One evening, I stayed after closing. I accidentally opened an email from an investor, and my heart sank. It outlined a plan to take my money and redirect clients to him. I sat in that dark cafe, repeating to myself, "This can't be real. He wouldn't do this to me." The next morning, I walked into the cafe and realized Mike had taken everything. Equipment was gone, shelves empty, refrigerators bare. My heart ached with betrayal, but something inside me clicked. I yelled into the empty cafe, "How could you do this to me?" My words bounced off the walls, but there was no answer. And then I realized, sitting here crying won't help. I had to act. I sat in the corner, opened my laptop, and started gathering evidence. Photos of contracts, copies of invoices, messages with suppliers. Every little detail mattered. Every move Mike made, I recorded in my mind and on paper. He thought he had won, but he didn't know I was planning my counter. Days passed slowly. I stayed quiet, didn't tell anyone. Mike was confident in his victory. I watched him enjoy his so-called triumph and felt my anger turn into cold determination. I knew that all I needed was patience and control. I started checking contracts with the bank, verifying documents with suppliers. Every detail confirmed the business belonged to me. I anticipated and documented every step he took. This was a long game of strategy, not a quick strike. When I finally confirmed all the documents, Mike thought he could persuade me over the phone. He called, tried to intimidate, brag, and laugh. I listened silently and smiled inside. The silence on the other end sounded like his defeat. He didn't know that his own trick had backfired. The next day, I regained my clients and suppliers. They saw that the contracts belonged to me. Mike was left alone with empty accounts, his own deception turning against him. That's when I felt triumph. Not instant or loud, but quiet, deep, like a ray of sunlight after a storm. My brother thought he had won, but he underestimated me. Losing everything taught me a lesson. I became stronger, wiser, and now I know who I can trust. Sometimes, to win, you don't have to strike directly. You just need to be clever, attentive, and control every move. What seems like a loss at first glance can be the start of your victory.